gonna continue with the meeting. Hope you guys can hear me. My name is Mbangi Somabaso. As you have seen my emails in the, can you please mute Ntumbi? Because I can hear the background. Yeah. My name is Mbangi Somabaso from Sisanda Tech. So, as I've mentioned in the past email, here at Sisanda Tech, what we basically doing, we are interactive studio that actually work in education, sometimes doing some media stuff, and also working on other clients' projects. And as I've mentioned, like we care a lot about education, we care a lot about representation of Africans in this interactive media, but we also care a lot about creativity for us to be able to create tools that other people can be able to use and stuff like that. And I brought you guys here because I felt like, what's the use of us using Teams meeting to actually, like the first time, what's the use of us using Teams meeting for the first time? But I felt like, no man, let's rather go to the metaverse and have this meeting from the metaverse, so that you guys can have a clear understanding of what exactly do we do and what exactly do we want to achieve. I don't want to be talking about stuff and you guys do not understand some of the stuff that we are doing. So that's basically why we have you guys here looking like yourself. Some they look like themselves, but others are just the stylish avatars, which is good enough as a way to present ourselves in this meeting. So I've how I created the presentation, because you guys, I've selected you guys to join our education Department of Education. So I've selected you guys to be actually to assist in that region, to be able to make sure that we are able to get our solutions out there. So the whole venue that you see, it's basically our slides that we are putting forward. And I'm gonna ask all of you, maybe if we can all be in the same corridor, then we can all move one time to one slide at a time. Because I can see Luyanda, I think there's another person who's loading. And then Khalefo and Dombi, we can't see you this side. If you can all come where you started, and we can talk from that point. Can you guys come this side? You guys are having fun already. So yeah, Sisanda Tech was started in 2017. We started with an app. Sorry, somebody could have played the video. We started in 2017, in November the 17th. That means we actually just turned 7 years now, running as a company. And our whole idea when we started that time, we wanted to create a virtual science laboratory. And if you follow me, I will then explain what was the reason. Please come this side so that we can check the reason and the work that we've been doing so far. Right. So we started in 2017. I come from a public school, and in a public school environment, we were always, when we are taught science, we don't actually have science facilities for us to go to these labs, for us to be able to explore and do stuff like that. So we didn't have laboratories, we didn't have tools that we can use to actually build cool stuff. So we started with this idea that we're gonna use augmented reality and virtual reality to simplify science for learners, you know. So we've been building this platform ever since from my township in the Free State. We've been developing this platform. You could see in these pictures that you see here. These are the pictures of learners actually learning from what I call a garage school, where I organize them, then I will teach them on extra. I mean, what do they call it? Extra classes. I would actually educate them every day when they come back from school and teach them science, teach them maths, and all this kind of stuff. And then I would then use the platform that we're gonna talk about, which is Sisanda.com. If you come along with me, we then developed this platform called Sisanda.com. If you guys can come with, yeah. We then developed this platform called Sisanda.com, which is basically a platform, a virtual science laboratory that learners can be able to come into this platform. They can be able to do, they can be able to run science simulations, they can be able to perform science laboratory by just using their devices. So when we started back then, we used to have an app that learners have to go to Google Play Store, or was that the Apple App Store, to actually download it. But we soon started to make changes, especially this year, where we decided that we're gonna move the content to the website, for the reason that we've realized that majority of people, they actually don't download many apps and stuff like that. So we thought like maybe if we can move it to the website, we can then get more people to use our platform to be able to do that. And I wanna ask you guys to actually go to sun.com on your own time, check the platform and see what we already have there and see what you can add. Because as I've said on the email, that it's important to understand that you guys being here as part of Sisanda Tech, your contribution is not gonna go unnoticed. Whatever that we're gonna be doing together, you're gonna see it there. We're gonna test it with the actual learners, with the actual teachers. So it's important for you guys to actually pay attention on the platform. Go and study it, see how it works on the phone, how it works on the PC. If you are at home, how it works with everybody else. Understand it so that you have an idea on how we're gonna improve this project. So this platform has been running from 2017. I mean, the platform Sisanda.com has been running in 2024, but before 2024, we've been using the offline app that people can download. But we have since moved away from it. But before we moved away from that app actually won the MTN Most Innovative Solution, which is one cup that we are currently proud of having in our rack here. We can have that award sitting there nicely. We're always looking at it, but now it's not even about awards, it's about the impact that we want to do, which will lead us to this side of the stuff for you guys to actually be able to see what we have been able to do. So when we come to this side of the traction side, you will actually realize that we have been able to deploy to 15 schools in South Africa. Majority of the schools are in KwaZulu-Natal, and we expected when the school opens that we fully deploy those 250 tablets in KwaZulu-Natal, to make sure that we give the learners of Mpangeni enough access to science laboratory, because these are the people that we are talking about. They don't have science labs. They don't have where they can be able to learn. Science it's a practical subject. You can't just learn theoretically. You need to be learning by doing it. So they don't actually have that. But us bringing this tablet with our platform to them, it actually gives them an access to actually learn, you know. And in the past, there's a nice story that there was one time, I always remember this story. There was one time in Zim, in one of the uh, locations in Zimbabwe, they had floods and people, I mean, cars could not go to that village, and the school could not continue normally. So they wanted a solution that they can be able to use. And during that time of the floods, when the floods happened, they started to use Sisanda app, Universe, all the stuff that we've developed for Sisanda to actually educate some of the learners there. So it's one of those things that when I'm working on this, I'm actually thinking about the fact that we are able to make such impact on learners that are even beyond our borders. So it's stuff that you guys need to be thinking about and thinking about them deeply on how do we actually continue to make this contribution in terms of education in the African continent, but starting first focusing on the South African uh, from the South African context, you know. So it's still important for us that we are building stuff from a South African context that we can ship it all over the world. As I said, like the global space, it's our territory where I want us to play. So these are some of the pictures from some of the pilot that we have done. We have done tested stuff on virtual reality. We've made these T-shirts that when you scan with a phone, they can basically put a digital content on top of it. You know, we used to have these cubes that you see on the table there that would assist the devices to be able to provide augmented reality. We still in a decision stage of if we still want to have those cubes or we just want to make a simple augmented reality that can run without the cubes and stuff like that. So, but it's still something that we still testing, but you will see if you go to the website now, you are able to use the cube, you are able to use augmented reality or our content without actually using the cube, and which makes it easy for majority of people because other people may not have printers at school for them to actually print these papers for them before they can use the app. So we wanted something simple, something that majority of people can be able to use right away, you know. So and here, tell me if one of you guys can confirm if you can see there's a screen in front here. Please do let me know if just one can open the mic and let me know if you can see the screen. Can you guys see the screen? Yes, thanks. So this screen, basically, I'm gonna show you a demo of our. I think because it's a T-shirt, people can understand what it does. So it's more of our famous product to showcase, and people have actually been responding it very well. So I'm just gonna quickly play the demo. Yeah, so basically what happens is we have these t-shirts, we have four designs of these t-shirts. that have an artwork, and on this artwork, people are able to use their devices. They're able to scan those T-shirts, and once they've scanned the T-shirt, then it will give them a 3D content that they can be able to use and stuff like that. And this content, I mean, they can do whatever that we wanted as developers for them to explore. So this is it's an opportunity to show for you guys who are coming in as developers that you have a new canvas to play with. You know, you have a whole way that you can be experimenting your coding or be experimenting your design in a different way, you know, by measuring the digital worlds together with the physical worlds. And also for somebody who's gonna be like you to be gonna be doing marketing, it's also an opportunity for you to actually see how do you actually communicate this story, because majority of people, you know, it's sometimes tough to actually explain this thing with words for them, but we still want a way that we can share this story in a way that it's easier and they can draw a picture and they can see it right away without actually thinking difficult about it. So we got a job to do because this technology is still in the emerging phase in Africa. I mean, even in the world, it's still like the backside, even artificial intelligence, your ChatGPT, all this Meta AI, they've kind of like past augmented reality and virtual reality, because more people know about Meta AI and they know about ChatGPT more than they know about virtual reality and augmented reality. So it's all our responsibility to ensure that we are able to communicate these ideas in the most easiest way so that we can be able to provide learners from any part of the country, any part, is it either rural, is it either the township or the suburb, as long as they get the smartphone, as long as they're able to connect to the internet, we are able to deliver this content that they can improve their education, transform their learning, and make a change in somebody else's life. Because at this point in time, we can all safely say we see what's happening with the likes of TikTok. TikTok is much fun for learners to actually spend their time on TikTok. And you go to the school, textbooks are a little bit boring for one to sit and try to read through the textbook. So what we are trying to bring in the classroom now, we try to bring something that is more engaging, that can actually close the gap of a textbook and also the laboratory at the same time. So it's all our responsibility to be able to ensure that in the next couple of months we are able to deliver that content to those learners, you know. So I just wanna, before I go to the last part of the wall, to give you guys any chance to comment or to ask me a question at this point in time. For those who their mics cannot be on, you can still type your question on the message part and send it to us so that we can be able to answer that question. But I just want to give you a chance to comment or to ask question before we move on to another solution that we are providing at Sisanda Tech and our Department of Education. So please, your comment, your question, then we can move on afterwards. We got Khalifa Luyanda guest. I assume it's you, Bungisani guest, ne? And we also got Ntombi. I just want a comment or a question. Or do you guys really understand what we are doing, the first product that we are offering? All right, thanks. Other guys, are you able to switch on your mics? We haven't heard your voices. Can we hear your voices or maybe text something? All right, all right. That's cool. I'm also recording this meeting so that you guys can be able to catch up with the meeting afterwards and go through it. And if you got questions, you can then send me an email for me to clarify, because I want to make sure that you guys do understand what is the vision. The vision for Sisanda.com, it's basically for us to close a gap where we can give learners from any part of the town an access for them to actually use simulations as a way for them to experiment science and do those kind of stuff, you know. So I'm gonna now move on to another region, and this is where you guys gonna be very, this part, this is Sisanda.com, most of you are contributing in terms of development. And don't be, she's the only our communication specialist. She's going to be contributing in terms of making sure that this content gets to people in the most simplest way. You will be writing a lot of articles, you'll be designing a lot of social media posts regarding Sisanda.com. So now I'm going to be moving to another platform, and this platform, this is where I'm going to be training some of you guys to be able to understand how to develop this content. So the next platform that we're going to talk about, if we come this side, the next platform that we're going to talk about is called sparkinterest.com. Unfortunately, this one, if you go to the website, there's nothing there on the website, and this is the beauty that you guys will now start contributing in terms of building the fund, the website for it, and you guys will be contributing in making sure that we can host some content on this platform. So spark interest, as the name says, we wanna spark interest. We want those of you who are 18 above, you can be able to come to these workshops that you can learn how to develop augmented and virtual reality. So our approach in terms of developing this content has always been project based. Luckily for you guys, because I'm gonna be training you guys to quickly jump into the project, be able to assist with Sisanda.com. So you guys gonna be doing project based stuff. You're not gonna be learning from the point that we spend time on theoretical stuff. Everything's gonna be practical and hands on. So in most cases at Sisanda Tech we use Unity.com. But how we developed this platform that you see here, we developed it using Playcanvas.com. So I think that's gonna be the first stage where we're gonna start and teaching you guys on how to develop this content, right? So firstly, your as part of your training in Sisanda Tech is gonna start firstly on how to develop content for Sisanda.com. And then as you guys started to be comfortable with that, then now we have to build the website for sparkinterest.com to have all our training videos being hosted on that platform. So we do workshop, like physical workshop, where we go to universities, to schools, or other organizations, like the organization that I mentioned on the wall. They basically would have us to come through to their institutions, and then I would facilitate for that workshop, teach them on how to develop augmented reality apps, how to develop virtual reality apps, and all this kind of stuff. So you guys, on starting from tomorrow, you guys gonna now be going through these courses that I'm gonna be showing you guys how to develop this content, what tools to create, what is 3D rendering, because I've seen some of the feedback coming from the survey. Some of you guys never done 3D content, and this is an opportunity for you guys to actually learn 3D content, how to import this 3D content. If you're interested, you can go as far on how to model it or how to create it for this platform. So these are some of the people that we have been able to develop our content for. And if we come to the last wall here, so what we usually offer, I think I've already mentioned this. What we usually offer is basically we develop courses for majority of people who are interested, and usually people who are interested are usually institutions such as universities, other institutions that also do youth development. They would be interested in our offering. And also, I mean, I'm passionate about teaching. When you go to Sisanda Tech YouTube page, you'll find a lot of tutorials where I'm actually just sharing the knowledge that I have. So that's what we offer to people. But other people can bring us and we can do something custom for them. And lastly, on the last slide, here, on the last slide, are we still together? Right. On the last slide here, this is what I'm expecting from you guys. I want you guys to keep an open mind. I want you guys to be open-minded, to try to experiment, to try to go beyond the box, or to try to go beyond the boundaries of what you possibly know now. What you possibly know now is still important, but I want us to start looking things beyond what we know now. Start picking up movies, looking at when you are watching a movie, you're looking at how that world is built, what's the interesting part about this movie, why people would love this thing than the other things. So I want you guys to start keeping that mind open. But the most important thing, be hungry to learn. I'm gonna be doing training with you, but I think the most thing that I would want from you guys, it's when you guys are now start to learn by your own. While I'm still teaching you, go out, read articles on augmented reality, read articles on virtual reality, read articles on extended reality. Like, just read, immerse yourself in this world, especially for you developers. We're gonna be doing a lot of development. But once you understand something, don't just wait for me for the following day. Find something, because I'm gonna show you. Like, I'm literally gonna give you a shortcut on how we can do this. But it's very important for you to go an extra mile. Okay, sharp. I've seen what Baso, or you guys can call me Baso. I've seen what Baso is able to do. Can I try this example in a different way again? You understand? So you go, you find examples, you read, you influence yourself, you build something, then we can always check it the following day, what I think about it, and how you guys can improve it, and all this kind of stuff. Same thing will apply to you, Ntombi. I tend to separate Ntombi because she's probably the only one in this group who does marketing and communication, and the rest of you guys are doing software. So I regard you guys as a software dev team, and up until we meet again, then I'll get to frequently know the names and make sure that I get to know your names, and it becomes easily. But anyway, it's the same thing that would happen on the communication team and marketing team. I want you to be obsessed to actually know this industry throughout. What is augmented reality? What is virtual reality? What is extended reality? What do currently people are doing with this thing? What funds are out there that we can apply for, so that we make sure we keep having the resources within the company? So that's what would be the role of a communication specialist, or a marketing person in our company can do. And show creativity and discipline. Let's talk about creativity. Majority of people tend to think they're not creative because they can't paint, they can't do fine art. But that's also a lie to say you're not creative, because how we always think differently. And that level of us seeing stuff from a different eye, I usually think that would show you how creative you are, because you guys can take yourself out of any situation in the most creative way, or you can think about how you wear, how you combine your color patterns to actually make sure that you look nice when it comes out. That's a certain level of creativity, you know. So I want you to embrace that inner child in you, to be able to allow yourself to create and do all this kind of stuff. You know, that's what I would expect from you guys. Discipline is important, because discipline is the one that's gonna allow you to go extra mile to learn, that will allow you to work harder, you know. So that level of discipline for us to be able to respect one another, but also to be disciplined in terms of when you are given a task, deliver the task. We don't want excuses. Excuses are not doing anybody favor. You can give me excuses as much as you like, but you're also shooting yourself on on the foot. So avoid such excuses. If you're given a task, deliver the task, right? So that's what I would expect from you guys. Then the last one is to be able to work hard. Let's all work hard. Let's all push our level best to ensure that we get to deliver the work that is needed. Please go an extra mile. Don't just this is what you wanted from me, Baso. Just go an extra mile. This is what you wanted, but I thought I should do it this way, so that we can continue to push. If you've done your task, help the other person who hasn't done, who hasn't completed with their task. So let's collaborate and let's be able to work with one another. And yeah, guys, at the end of the day, I want you guys to have fun throughout the next 12 months of your life here. I want you guys to enjoy yourself being here. We're gonna be doing a lot of stuff in January, but for now, for December time, it's mainly you guys be learning the skills to implement. So throughout December, we're gonna be learning to develop. By January, you'll be ready to, when the schools open, when the markets open, you guys will be ready and you will be comfortable to do some of the stuff. So I think I'm done with my presentation so far. I want to hear from you guys. What questions do you have? What do you want to say? Is there anything that you guys want to share and all this kind of stuff? Or maybe I should create a Google Meet link. Then we can transfer this call to Google Meet so that some of you guys can be able to easily be able to talk. Is that fine? All right, let's meet in Google Meet. Thanks for coming to our virtual headquarters. This is where you guys gonna spend your time improving this building and doing all other kind of stuff. But let's talk on the other platform so that we can easily be able to hear each other, probably even see each other, and then from there we can take it from there. But welcome to Sisanda Tech. Let's meet on the other platform. All right, I'll send the link now.